Yo, what's good, YouTubes? This is your boy NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP. That's the Everyday City Carry podcast. And today, I've got a special homie on. This is my only New York homie, really, that I kind of talk to more than any other New York person in the EDC community. This is a podcast episode with Brigade New York. I want all you guys to follow him on Instagram and on YouTube because I think this is a very cool dude. Yo, what's good, everybody? We got Brigade New York in the house. First time I have somebody, a fellow New Yorker, to finally be on the podcast. What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Yo, things have been pretty crazy, huh? These past 48 hours with New York City. How has this sort of quarantine, pandemic stuff affected you, your work?
Oh, dude. So it's lockdown everywhere you go. Some businesses are still open. Anybody's still open is probably working at under 50% capacity. My job's still kind of like trying to push until Cuomo kind of gives us all the boot. But I work from either doing work in the warehouse over in Huntington, Long Island, or they send me out to the boroughs, which is how you see all these New York City shops that I put up, to do, deliveries, installations, etc. And I wasn't down with that with all this going on. So I was like, nope. No, I'm gonna take off, guys. You guys have fun out there.
So you decided to take off, right?
Honestly, yeah. Before it gets worse, I can't risk getting that. No way.
So my CBD shop officially closed today because I think there was a televised announcement from Cuomo just recently. The reason why I kind of knew the gist of it was I just looked at his Twitter. All the politicians, if I want to find out anything, I just go to their Twitter and they're gonna put out an order to shut down, like, officially, right? Except for groceries, hospitals, things like that. I think they're gonna be open, but everything else is like gonna be shut down.
Yeah, dude, I heard a little bit of that. I heard about like a massive shutdown by Sunday. So I think basically the essentials are what we're gonna have left.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of shit with you, like, at home right now?
I do. Like right before this, like when we were just chatting it up before, I was out and about, running around like a madman, trying to stock up on extra stuff. Once I heard an either further lockdown was going to take place. So I mean, we're okay. There's a couple of things I'd like to get since like everybody robbed paper goods, TP.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I'm gonna have to try to find left.
Did you see that video of that dad that did the math for shitting and toilet paper? It's so funny. I should post it on my stories. He basically said that if you buy the 40 roll from Costco, for a 2-week quarantine, right? This lady bought 4 cases. So like he was like, a person would have to shit 182 times a day in order to clear that whole supply of toilet paper in 2 weeks. I was like, damn. But it was so funny though. What do you got going on now since you've been home? Like, what have you been up to, man?
Dude, I got OCD, ADHD, so I get bored easily as hell, bro. I know you know all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. But, I'm trying to do my home workouts, which are half-assed compared to when I actually hit the gym. I don't know. I'm finding bullshit ways to stay productive besides doing what everybody else is doing, which is the Netflix, the social media, insanity, just trying to stay busy, trying not to be bored.
Do you have you done more for your channel? I know you post a lot on Instagram, and let me tell you right now, man, I like love seeing your posts on Instagram because I feel like, oh, this guy is like going through a lot of the same stuff as me because he's always in New York City. As a
Yeah.
New York City knife guy, yeah, exactly, man. It's fucking rare.
Represent.
Right, yo, you're so bold too. Like you go out, you're in the burrows, and you're like flicking spider codes and shit. Like I can't do that, man.
Don't give a shit, bro. I'll pull that thing right out.
Yeah, yeah. What are you rocking today? What have you been playing around with today?
Let's see. What do I have on? Oh, it's got it on me right now. Okay. This guy, Gratillion, custom Gratillion.
Nice,
Nothing crazy. That Blade Brigade blue, you already know.
nice. I'm rocking this today, which came from you.
Hey,
I really, really like this. It just feels really good in the hand. I like the little logo on the pivot, and like the way it sounds when you close it. It's so awesome. Like it's just like a little clink. You know what I mean?
dude, I don't know what it is about the Kubies. They got
Yeah.
it down with the titanium model. Like I don't know what it is. My boy Long Island knife guy Lou, he
Know him? Know him?
yeah, he calls it the thwack. The
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Mhm.
it just has a sound to it. I don't know, something about Kubi.
Have you hung out with any like other New York City like knife people or just digitally?
Um, I just basically Lou, because Lou lives like a half hour away from me. When I started this all up on Instagram, I came up with the idea with him, like, hey, why don't we just get on this social media thing like with everybody else? Like I thought it was a great idea because I wanted to connect with who's out there. Like I had no idea I'd end up having conversations with the guys that I watched on YouTube for years, and then here I am.
Let me ask you this. So Long Island knife guy, is he Scrooge McDuck of Long Island? Because this guy's raffles is like legit, bro. Like I am drooling every time I see him post, and he does it all the time. And I'm like, is he just like an oil tycoon, like in Long Island, or like?
Maybe he's the real Long Island Scarface, not me.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Because all those raffles got some expensive ass shit on it too. And I'm sure he's making some cash flow through doing the raffles, because of course, like not everyone's gonna win, right?
Yeah,
And you're getting all these entries, and then he does like several a week, bro.
dude. I mean, I talk to him here and there. I don't get in another man's business like that in depth, but I know a lot of people hit him up to help sell their stuff. He might get a cut out of it, which is
Yeah.
a lot of the knives you see. Then just throughout all this, yeah, obviously it generates enough income where he could just buy stupid amounts of ridiculous high-end knives. Like he'll be like, I'm doing a raffle today for 4 Koenigs, a Sebenza, and a fucking
It's like
Inter.
Shirogorov Day. You know what I mean? From Russia with love and shit. I'm like, what? How are we doing all this?
Yeah, he's creative, man. He's smart. He's a smart dude. He's got this hustle down. I mean, he doesn't.
Definitely does. How long have you two been doing it?
Dude, it's just him. I don't do any raffles.
No, I mean, like, how long have you both? When did you decide to get on social media, or on Instagram rather, and like start this whole like journey?
Not last. Was it last year? Yeah. Last year in February, right around the time I was quitting this really crappy job, was like, you know what? I want to give a whack at this. Let me try it. Let me start taking pictures of knives, since I just come across. I've been traveling into the boroughs since I was a teenager, so like obviously great pictures all over the place. I just thought,
Yep.
you know what? Why don't I just do it with a knife? Why don't I just start taking snapshots with the knife? So many people on social media take all these artsy pictures of anything possible, like a can of soda with the background of like the Empire State Building, and
Yeah.
then boom, 1,000 bazillion likes.
Yeah. I like So were you always a collector before? How long have you been collecting knives?
I would say I was a knife guy for a while. I definitely started off like everybody else in like that noob status where
Pack Force, M-Tech, like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
dude, my first knife was an M-Tech. It was such a piece of crap. The liner lock broke after like a month. It just,
Oh shit.
It
That's
doesn't
bad.
hold in place. It just breaks.
When you're
So
a noob, though, you're like, oh shit, this looks so dope, and you don't know what you're doing. You think all the steels are the same
yeah,
and
dude, I
shit.
thought it was the coolest thing in the world until it like came to my attention that I had a piece of crap and I
Yeah.
needed to upgrade.
How did you find out what the better sort of knife companies were? Did you watch YouTube? Did somebody show you something?
A bit of both. A bit of both. I got two buddies that were before me heavy into the EDC scene. They were like all about that, especially one of them. And they were just introducing me to like, oh, this is the gear you gotta have. These are better knives, and then it just like opened the door for me. And I'm like, oh wait, crap! This is out here. I really,
Yeah.
there's more to life than MTechs and TAC forces.
Oh, exactly. Like people just don't understand. Like when I meet my girl's family, right? I met my girl's family, and at first they were like, "Oh, you do YouTube?" They got all like hyped and shit. And they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I talk about folding knives and EDC gear." They're like, "What?" They're like, no, because they don't get that there's a
Yeah,
certain professionalism and like there's experts in craftsmanship in certain
yeah,
things. Just like with cars or like audio devices, technology, there's a lot that goes into like flashlights, even making leather goods and wallets and all that shit. Like that's all part of our world, right? And people use bits and pieces of this gear and they don't understand that every person in the world is EDCing, right?
yeah.
Because everyone has an everyday carry, every single person. Whether it's your keys, the kind of keyring that you like, you got a pen that you love, like everyone is doing it. We just kind of like, I don't know, I guess streamlined it, if that's the way to say it, you know. Ridge, or what is that?
You know what? It's honestly
I do
one of
not have a ridge. I wish I did, but I don't.
I don't either. I can't talk.
Yeah.
It's like an Amazon carbon fiber clip, but it works phenomenally.
Yeah, I've got like a slim single fold like leather thing from Amazon too. I was
Yeah,
like, oh shit, I want that. I don't
yeah,
want the bulky shit anymore.
yeah.
What's the first like good knife that you ever got? Like my first one that I was really like, oh shit, I'm in now. Like I bought the ZT 0456. That was like when I knew, okay, I'm gonna be in this because I bought that knife for two. I want to say 245, but that's because JD Cutlery anodized it. And I got like the custom lanyard and all that, and it was just fire, yo. That was when I knew, like, okay, I think I really like this.
Oh, dude, his work is sick. I wish I got
Yeah.
one of these DTs, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still, yeah, this right here, courtesy of Nut and Fancy,
Yeah.
Spider Cone,
Oh.
lightweight. This was my
Ooh.
first real knife. I mean, my first like knife that wasn't a hunk of crap gas station from like God knows where was this little
What's
Kershaw.
that?
It's like
Oh, which one is that?
dude, it's a Kershaw Shield. They made it around the same
I've
time.
seen that.
Dude, it's a Hinderer. It's a
Yeah.
Hinderer Kershaw. That's back when they
Nice.
Cryo. They made one of these, and then nobody knew what the hell this was, but everybody bought out the Cryos.
When did you get into like when did you start your YouTube channel? I know it was recent. I remember I was like I commented on one of your videos like, "Oh shit, I didn't know you did YouTube."
Yeah.
What made you decide to start doing that? Like, did you just see someone and you're like, I want to do this too. I want to give my own view on things,
Uh, what motivated me to do it? Neves knives.
Neves, I love Neves knives,
Oh,
man. I love them, dude. They're so cool.
I always tell people they're like the power couple of our industry.
Yeah.
They're out there killing it right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, good friends of mine, them and JB Big Red. They were, we were all in this group chat together. And Neves and I was like, yeah, so Alex, when are you going to start a YouTube channel and stop dicking around? Like, whoa, come on.
Yeah.
Peer pressure much, right? And they didn't care. No, you got to do it. You don't have a choice. You should do it. I think they got the idea after seeing me post a couple of BS videos just messing around and then doing a couple of like Instagram lives just BSing around. And they're like, dude, why don't you do a YouTube? And I'm, for a while I was like, do I want to? I feel like everybody's doing it. And you got this down, bro. You got this down with the way you do it, and we already got guys that are. They just run that scene, and yeah, there's everybody else kind of filling in the gaps with additional reviews and gear that I guess the bigger guys are missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, where would my place be adding into that? Like, I can't think of a base that isn't covered yet. But then again, here you are, bro, just killing it, doing it differently, and everyone loves it. I love it. I watch your shit religiously.
Thank you, man. I think the thing with YouTube that I've been learning, right, and I have the same thoughts as you had just talked about right now, where it's like, why the fuck am I gonna do this? Everyone's doing it, but it's like I'm in a lot of different niches on YouTube. Like I watch a lot of different stuff. Like every other community is enormous compared to EDC. Enormous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people in our niche crowd too, right? So it's kind of like how, these comedians have different podcasts and everyone has a podcast now that's in entertainment and they just guest on each other's podcasts. I kind of took that mentality and I was like, if JT had a podcast, Big Red, which he kind of does, he has Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
So if all of these guys are doing these 1 hour long form contents like every week, like why couldn't we just kind of like go on each other's just grow like huge, still be niche, right? Yeah. Because people that watch me aren't necessarily watching JT and vice versa, things like that. And I'm really trying to give people the nudge, yo. Like Neves Knives would kill it on a podcast if they had their own.
Absolutely.
Like kill it, bro. Kill it. They're so good naturally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, if like let's say I work on a big video or something that I did a lot of editing on and I wanted to get people to watch it, I would go on Saturday Night Live or I would go on Neves Knives' podcast for the week or JT's or Love Them Knives, whatever. Maybe I'll guest star on a Love Them Knives knife sale or some shit. You know what I mean? Just to promote that video. It's kind of like how comedians, when they have a special coming out on Netflix, they'll go on Joe Rogan's, they go on Tiger Belly, they go on Your Mom's House, all the big comedy podcasts to promote that. Why couldn't the same dynamic work for EDC? I really think it could. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So I love that you're doing a channel, man, because I thought about it like this. I said, if I'm going to do a podcast, like who's going to listen to it? And I'm like, there's 8 billion people in the world almost. There's got to be at least like 200,000 people that are exactly like me who want to listen to what my views are. And the same with you, man, like same with Big Red, the GT, everybody has people that are going to, kind of like what they're saying and like, oh, this is what I want to watch.
True.
Yeah, man.
Valid points, bro.
How often do you post on YouTube? Are you like not going hardcore in it yet, or? I
feel like I haven't done enough to really establish a presence yet. I think, and I know Neves Knives is in the background, like pushing me to do it. They want to do more. They're great supporters. Them and Big Red and so many guys. They're all supporting. So it's not like I don't have an audience to kind of help kick me off. It's kind of like I feel like maybe if I started coming up with more ideas on what to post, like what do people want to hear that they haven't already heard 50 other times from 50 other sources? I think that's what I would want to do.
I think it's consistency, right? So in the beginning, if you look at my earlier work, I was putting so much editing and cinematography into it because I had to mask what I didn't know about the community yet, like what, certain mechanisms and things like that, steals and stuff. I had to mask that with creativity. Whereas now I have just enough and I just do enough of the cinematic stuff, right? I upgraded the channel quality more, like the audio, camera, things like that. I actually was thinking about doing a project because Slicey Dicey, he did like a guest spot on the Late Boy Scout. I don't know if you watched that. So the Late Boy Scout does this thing. He's a huge channel. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Huge, bro. Fucking huge. One of the YouTube giants from way back. I think Shabazz. I think he's even before Shabazz. I think.
Yeah.
And basically on Mondays, he does this pass the mic thing where he uploads a video that another YouTuber that he likes made, right? And then they get to spread their message to his audience. And he's got like hundreds of thousands of people. And Slicey Dicey did the very first episode of that. So I was like, why don't we do that for each other? Like, I was trying to do one with Jack Farm Boy. I was like, yo, let's do a video together. And like we'll upload it on each other's channels, and then like if Knee Knives or me was like, yo, Blade Brigade New York did this video with me, and I like gave you, we have the same knife or whatever, and I'm like, hey, do this section,
Right.
like do the what's dope about it or whatever we decide, right? And then I'll do another section, and then we'll have like the conclusion part. I think people would really like that, and it'd be easier for people that are just starting out to get discovered.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to do something like that, man. What was I gonna ask you? Actually, I had something here. What other stuff do you have on you right now? Like, you have any other knives? I know you had your collection boxes before you showed me.
Dude, I got my boxes on my left and my right side right here.
Yeah.
I didn't know so I had it ready.
What is like one of your most prized possessions, like one in your collection? Yeah, show me one.
You know what? I can't pull out the ProTech Mordax, and I know you know all about that.
Yeah. Is it like why can't you pull it out? Because I already showed it, or?
No, I actually forgot. I forgot it. It's not in here right now.
It's cool. Show me something you got, man. It's all good.
Oh my God, I can't speak. Look at me go. So, Benchmade.
Yeah.
Cook River, custom carbon fiber.
Nice.
Sense. Pivot collar blue, and I don't know if it picks up S90V.
S90, dope, dude. I've always liked the way that looked, man. I've never tried one. Is it the large or small?
The small, dude. The large is like a mini katana. It's the large is obnoxious. Yeah. It's like, what am I gonna do with this in New York City?
Yeah, I was talking about that. I was like, we don't bushcraft here. So what is it, like city crafting or something? Like, what is it called, right?
I love how you said that, because dude, I know a lot of this industry is definitely based in the more countryside of the country, where that stuff is normal. Walking around with a pistol is more normal. Walking around carrying several knives is normal. Where like here, if I had something bigger than this, and I pull that out to do whatever miscellaneous task, people are gonna gawk at me like, what the hell is that guy doing? Is he gonna stab me? Like, people.
Even with that, you could still kind of, it could still kind of fuck up your day. Like, a cop could take it away, or he could stop you and detain you for a little while. Like, it's still very tricky as a New York City knife guy. Like, do you carry like on the pocket, like with a clip? But do you drive a lot, right? You don't take public transport.
Yeah, no public transportation.
Okay. That's a little easier then to have it on the. I gotta put it in pocket, bro.
No, bro. Dude, I feel you there. I thought about that. I'm like, damn, he's really gotta have that shit concealed doing that.
And there's bag searches every month. Like towards the end of the month, they try to catch people to make quota.
Yeah.
So and I don't even know if I should say this live on air. It's like what I've noticed is like those bag searches, they can only check your bag. So like I always keep my stuff in my pocket or like in my jacket pocket, like in a zipper, because they don't check you. They check your bag, because they don't want to bomb and things like that. That's what they're looking, weapons, So they don't check usually. They usually check the bags. And even just getting bag searched, it's happened to me maybe once. That's like 30 minutes you don't want to lose. And in New York City, it's just go, go, go. You don't have time for shit. 30 minutes is a long time.
It is.
Yeah.
Dude, the New York minute is a real thing, man. Time goes for this shit.
Yeah. You ever been to any other part of the country and felt like, man, this is so different, like the life here? Like
everywhere else, it's not New York.
Yeah, I went to California. I was chilling in LA. This is when I was still DJing. I went on tour and I was out there for an entire week. And it was so chill, bro. Like everyone was so laid back and shit. And I'm like, and there was like no weather. Every day was just like nice. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, the closest I've been to the West Coast was Vegas. And
dude, dry heat.
Through the dry heat, I'm just like, what is this madness?
It's like you're not sweating, but it's hot as fuck outside.
it's like a whole new thing for me.
Yeah, yeah. I've been to Vegas a few times. I like it, man. I like it. I had a friend that worked in Mandalay Bay, the aquarium. Like he would feed the fucking nurse shark and shit, and like clean the tanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he got me free tickets to go in, and I used to go to EDC there. That's another thing that we kind of bonded on. Was that I told you that I spun at EDC, and you were like, no fucking way.
Dude, I do it. I was just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was the most amazing, cool thing you've ever told me. Because, like, I felt like for a long time, I'm like, I think I'm like the only knife guy out here that listens to EDM. Like this guy's like me and maybe one random dude. And
that's another thing that you could compare kind of to the EDC community is like dance music. Like the EDM community is fucking massive.
Yeah.
It's fucking so massive, but like it's still niche in a way. Like certain people are like, oh, it's all techno. That's what they think. Like my girl is one of those people. Like I'm listening to like, old school Deadmau5 and Cascade, like that song I remember. And then my girl is like, oh, you're listening to techno? I'm like, what the fuck? It's Art Cox, that's techno. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then she's but I'm slowly like introducing her to it. But yeah, man, it was really cool when you told me that. I forgot how we got into that.
I think I was telling you because before doing what I do now, I kind of do like I work for a company that provides technology for schools. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's not as cool as when I used to be a sound engineer, which is why we got on that topic.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a cool job that I used to have. That the only reason I don't is the company I was working for just didn't have enough work for me to make sense to stay. So it was kind of like, what am I doing here at this point? So I go out and try new things. But I mean, when I was doing it, it was the coolest experience ever. I've been in every venue in New York City, Long Island, the tri-state.
What was like your favorite venue that you can remember right now? Like a nightclub, not like a festival, not like City Field or something, like a nightclub.
Roseland Ballroom.
I loved Roseland Ballroom. Bro. I think the last time I was there, I saw Paul Van Dyke and like and I never spun there. I spun at Webster, I spun at Pacha, I spun at like I spun a lot of the clubs. Sullivan Room, we did parties there. Like all the clubs. But yeah, I used to. There was this club called Crowbar. Yeah, I went to that, man, and I love that. I was going clubbing a lot more. When I first started going, they wouldn't allow Asians in clubs.
What?
Yeah, like I would go to Sound Factory, and I would be dreading getting to the front, and I would dress up, bro. I'm like in slacks, a button-down shirt, because they were very like selective with who they let in. Like first of all, if you're an Asian guy and you don't have girls with you, it's going to be very hard for you to get in. We had to know somebody that was working the line to get in, and then eventually, like they would start being less selective because it got so competitive, like the dance market, scene.
Yeah,
and, yeah, man, it was a crazy, awesome time, dude. Like, I remember one time I was DJing at Pacha, and then I was just spinning, right, and my girl, my ex, was there, and the lighting lady was like, hey, I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, she came over, she's like, you see these girls over there? I'm like, yeah, what happened? She's like, they want to give you blowjobs. I'm like, what? Yo, and then she like points to the girls, and the girls like, I was like, I have a girlfriend and she's here. That was at Pacha, bro. Like, what the fuck? I was spinning in the main room. And I'm like, that would have been great if I was like single. You know what I mean? Like, that was probably the coolest DJ story. Like, not cool, but I'm kind of like crazy. How crazy that kind of life was. Because I didn't have a job. I was only producing DJ music for at least like 5 years. It's crazy.
I try to tell, like, I talk to so many people in the community, and like when I tell them like what the New York nightlife used to be, like it's not the same now, obviously, and I know you know that. No, not even close. What it used to be, like I I relate to that because I've seen all that type of nonsense out in the clubs back then. And I mean, you're older than me. I'm 28, but like I've been doing it for a hot minute. So like I know
When did
Sound
you start
Factory.
going like clubbing? Like
Yeah.
what? Like when did you start? Like what age?
I think I I did it. I went to a lot of clubs for work before.
Oh yeah, sound engineer. So you were the guy that helped people set up like that kind of work, or you were just manning the mixing board and all that?
The stagehand work, the soundboard work, the mics, the setting up the equipment, getting everything in place. Mainly that. So
that's awesome, yo.
That had me in. I walked in the Roseland Ballroom any given time I felt like it, and seen Deadmau5 like 3 times.
Yeah.
What was the last thing?
I saw him there too before. Yep.
I think the last thing before Ballroom closed, I think it was Ferry Corsten.
Yeah, I met him once before I was a DJ. I got to like shake his hand and shit. I was like glow sticking a lot, and they were like, "Yo, this is the best glow stick in New York City." I was like doing some fucking heli tosses and shit. And he was like, "Hello, I'm Ferry Corsten." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife is Filipino.
Oh shit.
Yeah, his daughter's name is Ligaya, and that means happiness in Tagalog, my language. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but he had his first dip in the koi pond. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the best way to describe it.
That's what my girl said to me, bro. Like, I was, when I first met her, I was like, "Oh, so you date a lot of Asians?" And then she's like, "Well, you're not my first dip at the koi pond." And I fucking laughed so hard, bro. I was like, "Oh my god, this girl is hilarious, yo."
It's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like laughing. So yeah, man, like so did you go to school for that, like sound engineering? How did you get into it?
Actually, no. My that was my father's career, and he taught me from the ground up when I was like 15. So
you know about like levels and all that stuff. So you're more hardware, like a hardware kind of guy.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I did a lot of the actual physical labor work of bringing it in, and then he was teaching me all the hardware and the tech stuff about it. The only thing, the point where I stopped was like mastering the soundboard to actually become like a full-blown engineer and go out do my own gigs. That was kind of where I was just like, I was too young at the time to give that much of a shit. I just wanted to like go out and go to the clubs and stuff. So
seeing girls, and it's like, yo, that must have been so much fun, bro.
Like before I was legally about to, I'm gonna say this a lot because I don't care. Before I was legally allowed to do any of this, I was always doing it. So
a lot of people started out like that. Like they would just sneak into the clubs, yeah.
That's just how I learned, bro. That's how I learned the industry, mastered it. I didn't need to go to school. Like I went right to working for a company right out of high school. Kind of like I worked at a place for a couple of months out of high school, like a true Long Islander. And then after I just went right into the sound industry, and then it just took off.
That's awesome, man. Dude, the Halloween parties at nightclubs, New York City Halloween parties. I remember I went to Sound Factory, and on the dance floor, right, there was these 6 girls. They were dressed kind of like bondage BDSM, like with collars and shit. One hot girl had like a collar, and the other 5 girls were on like in one leash, right? They were all leashed up by one thing, and they were like dancing together in Sound Factory. And I was like, this is the best place ever. Because like, I actually got in that night. Sometimes I couldn't get in, bro. I'd have to go home, and it's like wintertime. Like, fuck, I want to,
The winters are the worst in the city.
Yeah.
Trying to go out.
Oh my god! And you have to wait online. See, before I was a DJ, I'd have to wait online, and then after, people would get so pissed. I'm like cutting the line, and it's like a block long. They're, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm spinning main room, bitch. That's just fucking great. What other knives you got going on with you right now? Let me show one of mine. I didn't show this the last time.
Let's get back to the topic before.
Yeah. Before, but people like the other shit too. So this is the Alexander Cheburkov Streesh. It's from Russia, and it's got this like Damascus thing going on.
That's crazy.
Somebody sent this to me. I've never even heard of this company.
Neither have I.
My homie was like, yo, that's one of my favorite designers. You could front flip it because this is so rigid here that you could do it, even though it's not supposed to be that. This is 350. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, this one viewer sent me a custom knife factory and this in the same package to check out. They just want me to make videos out of it. That's when I kind of knew. I was like, okay, maybe people actually give a shit about what I'm doing, because last year I didn't get this much stuff. But I guess since I opened that door, I was like, look, I don't have to keep the knives if you want me to just check it out. That way we'll always have content for the channel. People have been getting crazy, bro. They've been sending me some shit, Alexander Cheburkov, carbon fiber. I don't even. Oh, Damascus blade, and I don't know what else about it except that it's dope. Doesn't drop shut or anything, but it's really smooth.
That's crazy. That thing's 350.
Yeah, look at the fucking case too. It's like hand stitched. Yeah, and I'm just like, I wouldn't be able to buy this. So I think the guy who sent it to me is a photographer. He's got to have Scrooge McDuck money,
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, man. Like, what else you got on you right now that's cool that you want to show people?
Let's see. What do I want to show people?
Yeah, something you can enjoy.
Shout out to AR Knife Mods on this.
ZT?
ZT 0393 in like an iridescent purple.
Oh, was that anode by that guy, or?
He anodized this, so like depending on where the light hits it, it'll go from like a dark eggplant to like a bright alien purple.
Yep, it looks so sick. Dude, is that the original clip on it, or is that a different clip?
MXG gear.
Oh, nice. It's deep carry. Yeah, I haven't picked up anything from them yet, but everyone is just like, they're dope. Dude, I love ZT. How do you feel about ZT's new direction lately?
I'm glad you asked that. I agree with everyone on them kind of going back to their roots with like the big, obnoxiously diesel, rugged, tough knives of doom. Like, yeah, that's kind of their thing. They've been known for it. Like, there's nothing wrong with straying away to try something new to kind of give the public like a new way to ZT. But you can't stray too far away from what made ZT ZT. You can't. Yep. There's just too much weird stuff that they're popping out with lately, where it's just like, what the hell? What happened to this bruiser of a knife? Like, what?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I agree with what you said. I think like a podcast or two ago with get Sinkovich back, get Hinderer back, get Les George back on this, because they were giving these guys the good stuff.
It was like overbuilt knives by really smart, intelligent, classy designers. That's what I expected from them, and they were killing it. I remember I like to think of that era of ZT. Oh, nice, sick. When they were doing like the 456. Like that was like the Fast and the Furious era. Like everyone was anodizing their shit all crazy. I miss that era. That was like my ZT era, Dude, so you did Flippy.
Nice, dude, man. I do your flip all the time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. If I can do it with a knife, that's how I test thumb stud knives. If it's a good spacing, What else you got? What other cool shit that you got right now? Let's look at some other stuff.
I'm about to do your flip
on this.
This is the easiest one for me to do the flip.
Yeah.
Spyderco Domino.
Yeah. Oh, very nice, man.
I got it down by now.
Dude, that's fucking smooth, that knife. Holy shit, dude.
This is there's obviously more expensive Spydercos, but I'm a realistic guy. This is my grail Spidey for me, man. The Domino. So nice. I love this thing. It's
so dope.
Thai frame lock flip. Oh my god, I did it.
Fripper. Yeah, you became Asian for a second. Frame lock Fripper.
I don't know. Okay, Spyderco titanium frame lock
flipper. Yeah.
A half carbon fiber G10 with the carbon fiber overlay, titanium MXG gear clip, flipper. Spidey hole. So,
dude, I love that front scale, man. That looks so sick, dude.
Dude, I remember when Nick Shabazz reviewed this, and he said it looks like a grandma stitched sweater or something.
I like it.
I kind of saw that, but like when you get it in person, it looks nothing like those generic pictures that like all the companies post. it's got like a shine to it that's just so classy.
Yeah, I
So,
can see something right now, even just on camera. But man, it's fucking smooth. Holy shit.
oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to get into Spyderco's more, man, because I guess the most like higher end tier type of Spyderco knives that I've gotten to check out was I won a which one is that? I won a Shaman, right, which is way
oh,
more expensive now. I won one and I actually sold it to somebody for like under $100. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" No, and then somebody, probably my favorite commenter of all time, not just on my channel, in all of YouTube. This guy seems logical. He sent me a Spyderco Capara. He was
wow.
like, "I have two. I'm gonna give you one. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to shout me out." And I was like, "What?" But now that I'm starting to notice, just some of the higher end Spydercos is like a different thing. I've only gotten budget ones before. And I always thought they looked like ducks, man. I'm sure you heard me say that before. It's just like fucking duck hunt, but I get it now. They know what they're doing. Like
Yeah,
you get it in hand, you're like, okay, I get why this is a beloved company.
yeah. I'll be the first to admit the first time I saw Spyderco and I saw that obnoxious hole, I was like, what the hell? What is that? What kind of who's the jerk off that came up with this idea and thought it was great? And then I was so wrong. I played myself so bad making that comment because once I got to mess with them, I was just like, wait a minute, these are good.
There's something about them.
Oh, there's something about them. And now I love the Spidey hole. This is
Yep.
my Crewwear Mannix.
Nice.
Dude, it's I call it like my pocket lightsaber because this thing just lasers through anything it touches. It's disgusting. I don't know.
Crewwear is the blade steel, right? It's really dope.
Dude, it's a tool steel that doesn't really rust that easy, surprisingly, and it's tough as nails with good retention. This thing, it just cuts like a laser out of the box, hair shaving sharp, and everything I put it through at work, it just effortless, like barely any muscle behind it. Just slice everything. I was like, what the hell is this crap? Why didn't I get on this Crewwear sooner?
I don't have any Crewwear stuff yet, but I do notice that the Spyderco's out of the box. Even when I picked up the Roadie, which is like the small ass keychain, that's pretty expensive actually, right?
For what it is, yeah.
That should cut like really well. Do you sharpen or do any modding type stuff on your stuff?
A little bit of modding. Like here's an example. I mean, I mess around a little bit. Here's a Kershaw leak.
Ooh.
It originally had like a bead blasted satin blade, and I just threw that right out. Got an all black one off eBay for next to nothing, and then blade swapped it in. So now it's camo and black.
Wow.
I realized that when I put it in, it wasn't locking correctly in the liner lock. So I actually had to like sand down the tang of the blade inside just a little bit so that the liner lock locks in perfectly with no problem. So
isn't that a speed safe knife?
Yeah, so this is an anti-New York knife. Yeah, it's assisted.
Is it though? Is it anti?
You know what?
That's speed safe is not a spring. It's a torsion bar, right?
It's a torsion bar and not a spring, but here's the weird thing about New York knife laws, bro. They're funny about the spring assisted because technically, like, they don't want you to have it, but they're like selective on how they enforce it because you can still walk to Sporting Goods and buy a Kershaw leak, and depending on the cop's mood that day is whether he wants to fuck you.
Exactly.
It's so silly, but I remember I was looking it up, and technically, if you have a hunting license or a fishing license in New York, you are exempt. You can have an assisted. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna bother you.
I need to become a hunter.
Bro, you could literally go buy a license and never go fishing in your life and just have it and just be like, look, I go fishing. This is my knife.
What if he asked me all these questions like, hey, yeah, you ever notice when you're skinning a buck? And I'm like, yeah. Yup.
I've actually never filleted a fish.
And it's like, and then I'm really glad I watched that episode of Meat Eater that one time. I am fascinated by hunting though. I kind of want to do it. I'm from the Philippines, so it's like I I ate weird shit, bro. Like I ate snake. I've had frogs. I've had snails. I've had dog. You know what's crazy is I'm gonna tell this story again today. So yesterday, this is the first time I told this story, right? And I told this to a few people, and they were like, I don't know if they were mortified or if they think I was kidding. So when I was in the Philippines, right, I was like 5 years old, and my mom was already living in America. She came to visit us, and I was still sleeping. I wake up, and there's all this food on the table. In a third world country in the 80s, you're just like glad there's mad food. There's like a spread, bro. Rice, adobo, like all this stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, I just woke up. I'm eating, right? I'm done halfway with the bowl. And my dad is like, you know what that is, right? And I'm like, what? Adobo. And then he's like, that's Rocky. And like Rocky is my dog. So let me explain before I get flamed in the comments. Rocky, he was a crazy mutt. He was a kind of a bad dog, but you love all your dogs, right? He tried to attack my mom when she came in, and my dad had to put him down. It was really, really hairy. So he shot him with a rifle. Third world country in the 80s. Can't let the meat go to waste, bro. So they fucking cooked him up and shit, made him into adobo, and like I was crying, and I was like still eating the food. I was 5 years old, bro. And you know what's fucked up? My uncle went like this. He goes, "A dog will always know you've had dog." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "It makes your stomach hot." Like he was lying to me and shit. So I was scared of dogs for a while.
Dude, I don't even know what else to say, but damn, it's shit real over in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, but I mean, in the 80s, dude, it was crazy when growing up there, man. Like, we had one channel on TV, like one. So, like, news, cartoons, everything was on one channel, at least where I was born.
Right.
And that was a common thing. Like, that wasn't the first, there was another time where we had dog again because, like, a neighbor's dog got, like, run over, so they cooked him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a third world country, right? Where, like, there's no food, so you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how this Corona thing started, man. They eat the fucking pangolins. China was like, "Oh, you think Ebola's bad? Hold my bat." You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
it's so crazy. Dude, yeah, apparently. What's up?
No, I was gonna. Yo, we're both from the same place. I hear jokes like that all day, every day. All the time, nobody's offended. Nobody cares. Like, no, we're ruthless in New York, bro. We just let it all.
I feel like in New York City, busting balls is like normal. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you care about somebody, you're tight with them. You guys kind of just rag on each other a little bit, But like you show them that you'll be there for them when it counts. I feel like, but that's how my family was growing up too. Even though we were immigrants, like we always had a mentality that we would like kind of make fun of each other. Yeah. I remember I would bring girls home that didn't get that aspect, and it was like, "Yo, why are you always making fun of me?" And I'm like, "Cause I like you." Like, you know what I mean? And then they meet my family, and they're like, "Oh, you're all like that." Okay.
They say, "Oh, this is normal." Yeah.
Like we'd be eating dinner. It's like, "Raymond, remember that one time you shit your pants?" I'm like, "What the fuck, mom?"
Now it's not the time for that, mom.
Mom, what the fuck? Like they do shit like that. Yo, what else you got on you right now, man? Show me some other shit. I'm gonna show something else too.
Bring the heat. Bring the heat.
Bring the heat, bro.
I got this custom dyed. This Bestec Texel.
Ooh, nice.
Blade Brigade Blue, that boy.
Do you have a lot of Bestecs?
This is my first one, actually. Shout out to Hanks. Gave me this. Shout out to that dude, man.
Shit. Nice, dude.
Yeah, he gave me this as a gift just out of generosity, and I'm like, bro, you know
what?
I honor you.
I bought stuff from him. There was something going on with him, right? And I remember we all kind of pitched together to buy stuff out of his. I saw that post, and I bought Hank's.
Yeah, so I definitely bought a Hank, and then through crazy sources, like I got knives from other dudes, and then they gave me more Hanks from him, and I'm like, I always have a Hank by him.
Yeah.
Just for that.
I never feel like I have enough, yo. I
Dude,
want more Hanks.
dude, I mean, I feel like I don't. Maybe I should try carrying it more. I feel like I don't carry it enough. I like my main three always is like a knife, a pen, and a flashlight. Regardless, like they're different combinations of each, obviously, but that's like my main three. That's my trifecta EDC.
Is that what you? So I have like a leather sheath, and it has a Swiss Army knife in it. I think it's the Recruit, and then I have the Cadet in one sheath, and then I have that small ass Olight. I don't know what it's called, the S1, I think, the small ass. Yeah, that one, and then I have. Yeah, it was really small, and then I have like a wee knife pen in it, and that sheath always goes with me every day. It fits in my pocket, and then I usually have a knife outside of it. That Texel, what's the blade steel on that?
That is D2.
D2. Everybody got D2 now. People were like, oh, there should be more D2. Then, China said, yo, hold my steel. And fucking everything is D2 now. Right?
China's just like, oh, yeah, you sick of HCR?
I know.
There you go.
Yo, shout out to ATR 13 MOV, though, man. That's my shit.
Big shout out to ATR 13 MOV. Yo, I want a shirt that says...
I know. My plan was to have, like, the guy... like maybe somewhere on the shirt, but not that visible. And I wanted it to be like got milk, but then like ATR 13 MOV, and then like he'll like stick out in the back or some shit. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like people are like, what is that? And then they just see like a guy, like.
Dude, I will rock this shirt. The day it happens, I will rock this shirt anywhere in New York.
I'm working on it. I got the Ferrum Forge exec here.
Dope. Dude, that
mild mannered EDC. What is this again? CPM 20 CV, titanium, carbon fiber scales. Look at this like drop shot, bro.
Dude,
it's so nice.
Dude, the Ferrum Forge is drop shot like a dream, bro.
I know. Yo, did you see that Ferrum Forge video I did where I dropped? So 3 Ferrum Forge Archbishops 2.0s, 3 different models were sent to me. And like I dropped it and it landed on like a lead pipe, like in a basement, and like fucked the edge up, bro.
Oh shit.
And those were like $230 each. I fucked one up so bad. I tried to like strop it. I tried to do all this shit. I felt so bad because that was Ferrum Forge basically gave it to the Apex Fast Roam group, and they were like, yo, let everybody review it. And then what we'll do is at the end of the run, you can raffle it off, and one person wins all 3. And I forgot who won it. I think it was maybe it was Gear Toward Gear who won it. But he was like, yo, it's all good. Like, it was easy to sharpen out and shit. But I was so nervous, bro. I was so fucking nervous, man.
I freak out anytime I drop a knife.
Yeah. Dude, what's like a crazy knife story that you got?
You know what? You got me on the spot there.
You know, anything crazy like? Oh, have you had any close calls taking pictures of knives out in the wild of New York City?
I mean, obviously you can't see my page right now with all my content, but I had some that
everybody follow him on Instagram, by the way. Blade Brigade New York.
Your boy's in jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. I wanted to ask about that. So you had how many followers on Instagram did you have on your original channel, on your original page?
I was creeping up to 1,400. I think I was just a little bit under.
And then something, I don't know where. What was the message that you got?
I got logged out trying to open the app to go look at something, and it just said, you violated our community guidelines. Please click on the following link to further understand what's going on. And of course, there's no real details. There's no information on what. It just says, hey, fill out this information if you object to being booted off Instagram. And I'm like, well, no fucking shit. Yeah, here's my information. Bring my shit back. Stop dicking around with me, Instagram. Send. I haven't heard from them since. It's been like 2+ weeks. I tried to send 2 more messages that were obviously more civil, and elected and nice.
How many are you at now? Like, what's your follower count now?
I'm at like 350 right now. I'm not even keeping track. I'm honestly
Yeah.
just like posting just so people
That's
live.
the right way to do it, man. If you just keep
I'm just
posting, I hope that some of my followers follow you after this thing. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I can't fucking believe that. Like, I remember we were talking about it. Like, you didn't know what post it was. Imagine like on the DL, you had like a booty shot with like a fucking spider coming up.
You know what? Somewhere in my stories, not stories, somewhere in my feed going like way back. I think I had like one picture that was like a joke with like my PM2 with like some chick's butt next to it.
Yeah.
And, I doubt that's it because that was from like months ago.
Yeah, and there's so much of that.
Yeah, there's tons of that. There's people who advertise their knives with chicks' asses.
Yeah, right. Bastinelli Knives has mad chicks with his. It's like the best follow because like that's what you see on his page all the time. It's just some girl like with a karambit like in her titty.
Karambit just stick.
I know.
Oh yeah, look at that! It's a nice knife.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
we're all here for the knife.
Is there anything that you would like to plug? Before we close off, we're coming in on an hour right now. We covered a lot of shit. You're welcome to come on anytime you want. By the way, if you want to push anything, very fun podcast. Where can people follow you on YouTube?
On YouTube, it's just straight up Blade Brigade, New York, all lowercases, no.
Yeah, it's New NY, right? NY.
NY.
Okay, cool. And on Instagram?
Instagram, well, because of my backup account, same thing. Just Blade Brigade NY. No spaces, no nothing.
When I search for you, it says Blade Brigade 2.0 for some reason.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
It
says that as like my name.
Yeah.
Not my name, so my name says 2.0. I'll probably change that.
I see that. I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome having you on. I hope you stay safe, man. Shit's been getting kind of crazy.
You too, bro.
Do you have any plans to like go out at all? Like, are you just gonna? Have you left at all? When were you off first? Like, what day?
Wednesday was my first day off.
So this week.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you gone out since?
Only low battery. There you go. I'm back. Okay. We're good. I think I went out like once or twice. Like once to get a meal, like trying to support like my local food places that are just taking a blow from this, and another time to like go find extra supplies, along with hours ago just doing a supply run. So I might do one after this.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I'm trying to stay safe out here. I've barely gone out.
What's it like outside? I haven't gone out since Monday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Stores haven't gotten any better. They're constantly like supplies
empty.
In, supplies
Are
out.
People outside?
Like not as much. Like rush hour is significantly reduced. It's almost non-existent, if you could believe that, here in New York.
That's crazy, bro.
Like I've seen people like driving all the way up to Manhattan before without seeing the first ounce of traffic from Long Island. And everyone's just like, what the hell is this? Like, this is really the apocalypse. And the stores are flooded. People are going crazy. People walking around with masks, gloves, nothing different than that. I don't know.
Long Island was the first cases, right? It was like Nassau County or some shit, which is like near where my brother lives. My brother lives in Long Island. And my niece went to Nassau Community College.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So... It was so funny, like my other niece, my brother's other daughter, right? She went to Catholic school, and Nassau Community College closed like ASAP. Yeah. And then so I was joking around. I was like, man, I guess the Lord isn't afraid of Corona, because the school was open way longer, the Catholic school. It was open much longer, bro. And then they finally closed that down too.
Yeah, dude, it's I'm out here in Long Island too, Nassau County. I think the first case was here.
Shit. Yeah, right? Nassau, yeah.
I think the boroughs just got it is crazy.
Yeah, I know there's Bronx cases too. I'm in the Bronx right now.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like I've passed by your wherever you are so many times from doing
Yeah,
my
Grand
job.
Concourse, man. Right? There's a, it's a
I
big
know
block.
that street. I'm like, I definitely passed this dude's
Yeah.
farm.
Probably.
Just
I'm
walked
like
into your
right
house.
there. Yeah, I'm on the same block as that college, man. There's like a little police thing and all that.
Okay.
Right there. Dude, thanks so much for doing this, man. I
Yeah, no
really
problem.
appreciate it. It was awesome. Everybody give a round of applause for Blade Brigade New York. Follow him on everything. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP saying peace.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.